What's up, guys? So once again today we're having a draft recap from our Pokemon Fight Club Fantasy League, and today we're with one of the favorites to win it all, and I call Jeff Bridges, who's with us on Skype. So say hi, Jeff.
What's up, guys?
So Jeff, talk a little bit about yourself.
I am from the United States, Hazleton, Pennsylvania, to be more specific. It's kind of in the northeast of the U.S. So the weather's kind of shitty most parts of the year. I got into Pokemon. God, I think when I was like 6, I got my parents got me a Game Boy when I was in like kindergarten, and they bought me like all of the original Pokemon games, Red, Blue, Yellow, all of that, and it just kind of stuck with me like for the rest of my life, and it became a huge part of me growing up because that's kind of how I bonded with a lot of friends and stuff throughout the years, and even now that I'm going to be a sophomore in college in a few weeks, it's still a heavy part of my life, especially now competitively.
All right. So we're gonna go with the Pokemon you drafted, and the first one was your Mega Venusaur.
Oh, Mega Venusaur. Mega Venusaur was a definite need for my team. I've been using Mega Venusaur a lot in OU. I it's easily one of my favorite megas overall.
All
Um,
right.
for me, it just works so well because between its overall natural bulk, its hard hitting special attack, its potentially very hard hitting physical attack, and its thick fat ability, which eliminates two of its main weaknesses right off the bat. It just overall, in my opinion, is one of the best megas to run. Period, and it's easy to build around with only two weaknesses.
All right. Your first OU pick was Mew.
Mew is Mew is one of those Pokemon that a lot of people kind of sleep on and don't really think about too much when building OU teams. But really, it honestly deserves a lot more respect than it gets, just because of the fact that it can be whatever you want it to be. Because of its diversity in move pool, it can learn every TM and every move tutor attack. Period. It's overall one of the best mons to, especially for a format like this where you can plan for your opponent's team ahead of time. You can easily throw a bunch of super effective moves on there that can pretty much annihilate an entire opposing team.
All right. After Mew, you went for a Pokemon that many people wanted, and that's Gyarados.
And it's completely understandable. Gyarados is a really good mon. It's very specially defensive. It's very hard hitting on the physical side. If you really want to be daring, it does have a lot of really good special moves without much of a special attack to back it up. But you can throw something on there just to be a little bit sneaky every now and then. And with abilities like Intimidate, which helps provide extra bulk, and Moxie, which helps for sweeping, it really has a lot more potential than people can give it credit for.
All right. And after the OU tier was the UU tier, and you went with I think one of your personal favorites in Infernape.
I love Infernape. I love any monkey Pokemon in general because monkeys are my favorite animal, and Infernape is by far my favorite starter Pokemon through all the generations, just because of how good it is. It's one of the best mixed attackers in my personal opinion in the game. With its stats being perfectly distributed between its attack and special attack, you can completely split your EVs right down the middle for a perfect mixed attacker with throw a life orb on it, and you have one of the most diverse mons in the UU tier with the ability to quickly come in and KO whatever you need it to kill really quickly.
Oh,
Especially with my planning for week one, that's gonna be I don't know if I should reveal it.
yeah, go ahead.
Fuck it, week one I'm facing Alistair and the Dundee Darkrai, and one of his major walls is a Diancie. So for my mega for my I don't know what I'm saying, for my Infernape, I am running HP Steel with which as calc on Showdown, it does in fact two hit KO because it does I think between 61 to 73% to a Diancie with max HP investments.
All right. So we can see you plan ahead quite well and think of planning ahead. Um, Donphan is a Pokemon that really lets you do just that.
Absolutely. Donphan was mentioned when we were discussing stuff going on in the draft. Somebody mentioned that one of the
Was
biggest
me? Was
walls.
me?
Yeah. You mentioned it actually during the draft that one of the biggest walls on Casey Cameron's team was destroyed by a knockoff Ice Shard Donphan, and I was like, you know what? It's my pick. Let's do it. Let's grab Donphan so I'm ready to go when it comes time to face Casey. I can get Donphan in there and wreck house on his biggest wall core.
All right. Um, in the RU tier, you pick the Pokemon that has no weakness, and that's Electros.
Electros is one of those Pokemon that I think gets a lot less respect than it deserves as well, just because of how good it can be. It's very, very bulky. First of all, it's got a crazy HP stat. Its defenses are not terrible overall, and offensively, it hits really, really hard, physically and specially. So you can run it however you need it for each match. So it's definitely going to be very, very useful, I think, for this season.
All right. Second Pokemon in the RU tier was the the Pokemon that nobody wants to stand in front of, and that's Tyrantrum.
Tyrantrum, in my personal opinion, especially since its hidden ability of Rockhead was released, is one of the biggest wall breakers, I think, in all of Pokemon right now. With its crazy sky high 120 something base attack and throw a head smash on there, you're gonna break through most major walls. And on top of that, if you want to run his other ability, Strong Jaw, you have access to all the elemental fangs plus crunch, and you're gonna do crazy, crazy damage with that as well. So it's definitely gonna be there to punch through crazy wall cores like I don't know, that Chansey that you have sitting there. Maybe we'll just have to see how that goes.
I'm seeing you coming, and I really don't like it. Okay, so in the NU tier, you pick the sexy air balloon that's drifblim.
I like how you worded that because Drifblim, in my opinion, is pretty goddamn sexy. Especially because it's one of those Pokemon that nobody really uses. Even down in NU, I've been playing NU very solidly for the past uh, few months, pretty consistently. And honestly, in all the NU battles I've had, I've never ever seen anybody bring a Drifblim, and that's what kind of made me really think about making this pick because it's one of those mons that has so much potential with great abilities like Unburden to get that speed up and potentially sweep, and Flare Boost, which is actually a big part of my planning for week one as well. Uh, Flare Boost, which I think increases its special attack by 50% when it's burned. So you slap a Flame Orb on it, this thing's gonna either OHKO or two hit KO most of an opponent's team with a somewhat diverse move pool that you can really work with. It can be a huge threat.
All right. One of the greatest walls in the NU tier was next in Wheezing.
Wheezing for me was one of those picks that I actually made honestly, just so that nobody else could scoop it up because Wheezing is just that good. I only that's literally the only reason I scooped up Wheezing. I wanted to make sure that nobody else could scoop it up for the remainder of the draft, so that maybe I could sneakily drop it off sometime later in the season and um, pick up something else from the NU tier that can fill gaps in my team nicer than Wheezing can because I already have poison typing in Mega Venusaur. I really don't need Wheezing because I do have the physical bulk there with Donphan as well. So it really is. It's just kind of there to stop everyone else.
All right. Um, in the pickup rounds, you picked which a Pokemon which was the MVP in the GBA, and you told me you were surprised it was still there, and that's Weavile.
Oh, absolutely. Weavile is one of the hardest hitting mons up in the OU tier right now on the physical side. It's absolutely insane. Its speed is through the roof. You don't even need to choice scarf it 99% of the time because of how fast it is. And with the crazy attack stat it has backing it, it's honestly one of those mons that you just know is going to come in and wreck house.
All right. Then the last pick you made was the Cotton Candy Pokemon Slurpuff.
Slurpuff is a really good mon. I actually just recently started using it in a different league, and it helped me pick up a 6-0 in the first match I brought it to, which was insane because of its unburdened ability with the belly drum unburdened set with citrus berry. It has the potential to sweep an entire team without anything honestly stopping it because it outspeeds everything and it one shots everything with its decent it's over somewhat decent move pool, and you can even run it special if you want. Get a few calm mines up, and by the time they pop your citrus, you're ready to sweep anyway.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and ask you if you think you have a sleeper Pokemon you pick, and also which one are you the least satisfied with?
Uh, Both of those picks actually I think are going to come out of the NU tier. Now that I'm looking at it, the sleeper pick I would have to definitely say is drifblim because again, like I said, nobody knows what drifblim does.
All
Nobody
right.
ever has
Yeah.
really seen what drifblim does. So I feel like I could easily bring it into a match uh, safely and be able to get off whatever crazy combination I have set up for that week and pick up a lot of key KOs that a lot of my other mons wouldn't be able to scoop up for me.
Okay.
And then
And yeah, your least favorite.
the least satisfied pick is definitely Wheezing, just because again, looking at my team, you see the physical bulk there with Donphan, you see the poison typing in Mega Venusaur. Wheezing's just kind of there right now. He's just kind of filling up the spot in the team until I find something else in NU so that I can release it and scoop up something potentially better
Don't
overall.
don't you feel like a horrible trainer? Like
No,
Wheezing hears you.
Wheezing, you'll get over it eventually, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. I've used you successfully before in my own Wi-Fi battles on my channel. You've put in a lot of crazy work for me. Don't you worry, buddy. I this isn't for good. It's just for the better of the Memphis Primeapes as a team. It's nothing personal against you. You'll be seen around in the future, I'm sure.
All right. Okay. So why did you join the Pokemon Fight Club Fantasy League?
Uh, Couple reasons actually. First reason, one of the bigger reasons is because I know a lot of the people in it personally from either battling them in different leagues, either as a gym leader or challenging their own gyms, and I gotten to know a lot of them very personally through a lot of that through honestly through Pokemon because it Pokemon a lot of people don't think is a lot of people kind of like make fun of it. I've had a lot of people like joke with me about it. My family too as well joke with me about Pokemon. But and then I tell them it's like I have friends in Canada. I have friends over in the UK that and in India just because I play Pokemon with them and like we talk like on a fairly reasonable like basis. And meeting a lot of you guys through Pokemon, you guys are all a lot of good friends of mine. I feel so that was one of the main reasons. Also, I really wanted to uh, test my skills in this format, uh, in this type of format, as well as against you guys, because I know how good a lot of you are. You guys are all phenomenal battlers. From battling you in the past, I've seen it. You guys are really good, and I want to see how well my skills have evolved since the last times I've battled you guys, because it's been a while. So I like to see where my growth is at right now and where else I need to improve.
All right. What are your objectives this season?
I have one clear objective, and that objective is to go straight to the cup and scoop up the W for the Memphis Primeapes. No questions asked. I plan to come into each match with the mindset that I'm going to come in and dominate and make the aggressive plays I need to make, and honestly, just through all of that, make myself a better battler overall, so that I can keep coming back season after season and do the same thing over and over.
Are you the kind of guy that will go into every battle saying you want to go for the more risky but spectacular sweep, or are you gonna go for the safer but smaller lead wins?
See, for me, a lot of times I like to try and balance that out with my teams. If I can bring a potential sweeper, I usually do, just in case I have the ability to get it in to set up the way I need it to set up at any point in the match. If I see an opening, I will go for it and try for the sweep. And a lot of times it ends up working. Sometimes it ends up biting me in the butt. But that's what happens when you try to pull off sweeps. It's gonna happen sometimes. But a lot of times I do like to play safe and try to make the right predictions and work my way through my opponent's team piece by piece.
All right. Who do you think will be the hardest to beat this season besides you?
I think honestly, um, looking at the teams, honestly, it's definitely a toss up between yourself with your Mega Metagross as your overall powerhouse, and a really deep core of Mons that can put in a lot of work. Chansey with its bulk, Rotom Wash with its potential, Milotic with its potential, Hydreigon, which can be run so many different ways, Scrafty, which is insanely bulky, Pyroar, which hits like a truck. Same thing with Miss Magius. Nidoqueen with its sheer force. It's an absolute monster. It's definitely going to be a tough team to face off against. And then there's Casey. Casey drafted one of the bulkier teams, I think, in the league. With Mega Slowbro as his Mega. I mean, we all know, everyone's seen what Mega Slowbro can do. Things, if you let it start to set up on you, you've already lost. If you let it set up at all, it's over.
Yeah.
You've lost the game, and it's done from there. And then to back it up with mons like Gligar, Tentacruel, Ambipom, Amoonguss, Muck, Landorus, Therian, Nidoking. It's got an insane. He's got an insane core of mons that really complement his Mega very well, and I think he drafted perfectly in order to do that. So between you two are definitely going to be two of my toughest matches this season for sure.
All
I'm
right.
looking forward to it.
All right. And a little bit about yourself. I know you're a PokeTuber. Am I right?
Yeah, I am.
Do you wanna
Kind
talk a little bit about your channel?
of my channel name is Poke Primer. It's kind of a way to build off of my favorite Pokemon. As you can see with my team name being the Memphis Primeapes, my favorite Pokemon is in fact Primeape. Um, which it always has been since the Gen 1 anime. I thought Primeape was hilarious in the few episodes that it was actually featured in before Ash was stupid and released it and sent it away, you stupid bastard. Anyway, I have hard feelings against Ash. I hate the anime. I can't stand him. I can't stand the fact that he's the main character of the anime, and I think that he's a complete loser. But that's not the point. But
What's your content on your channel?
Uh, my content varies a lot. I do let's plays a lot. I like to do Nuzlocks. That's usually the main LP on the channel. Will be a Nuzlocke variant of some kind. Currently, I am doing a Pokemon Soul Silver randomized Nuzlocke, and I'm a good, decent way through the game as of right now. And I'm also doing a Pokemon Fusion Generation LP, which is a fan-made game that was actually like lost for a while because Game Freak actually took it down. Had it get taken down, and then it it my one friend was able to find it, and immediately I had to let's play it because it's such an interesting game, and it's a very interesting concept behind it. Also, recently I have started to upload Wi-Fi battles over there. I don't have a capture card yet, so the quality on them isn't the best. But I am saving up right now to get a capture card eventually, so that I can increase the quality on those as well.
All right. So thanks again, Jeff, and best of luck in the Pokemon Fight Club Fantasy League.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, and best of luck to you as well.
Thank you. So that's it, guys. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and on Twitch, and also like my Facebook page. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.